Hola, 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 all my beautiful people. How are you? I miss you. I've been really super busy trying to figure out my rhythm, my schedule. I've got like three or four different things going on and, finished shaman college. Yay. In fact, I think I've talked to Monica or Monica's talked to me, either way. And so we're going to be doing a couple little ceremonies here or be offering them shamanic ceremonies and the cacao ceremony as well. So I'm really excited about that. Today I've got the Mind Info deck, and this is one of the decks that I'm using in my special. Whoops, the special this weekend. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you could probably talk me into Monday too. I am doing 30-minute readings for $35. And it's a one deck. And people that have had readings with me know that my readings usually last a little bit longer than that 35 minutes, or 30 minutes. If they're usually a little bit longer, it's at Baker's Dozen. So I'm using the Mind Info deck, and then, and I can't remember the other name of the deck. But it really focuses a lot on career and money. So that will be the deck that I'm going to start using every month for the financial forecast. I was just having a hard time with the Doreen Virtue cards, and part of it probably is me wondering or thinking about how Doreen Virtue really doesn't advocate for this line of work or these things anymore, and that's okay. But I was having a hard time, not reading them. Yeah, I was having a hard time reading them. So today we are using the Mind Info deck. I love this deck. It was like something I ran across on Amazon, and I was like, ooh, I want to try those. And so I picked it up, and I loved them. I love them a whole bunch. I'm doing the card in rows of 3. And I like to think of it as what's going on, where did it come from, and where is it going to. Kind of like, is there that obstacle might be part of the where did it come from. And then the where is it going to. Again, I'm going to say a lot of times that is, as chance favors a prepared mind, that if you don't like the place or where something is going to, that you have the ability to change it. You have the ability to change that energy. You can always change what's going on in and around your vibe, your vibe zone, and create the kind of vibration that you are looking for. So let's take a look at the very first button, the very first card that's there. Well, actually, we're going to look at 3. And let's flip that camera over and look. All right, so our first 3 cards here, we have Break Free, Manifest, and Resolution. So what we're looking at because this is like what's coming in this weekend and what's it about. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the Break Free is, and what I'm getting through here is, it's, the breaking free has to do more with disconnecting from things that aren't disconnecting from things that are blocking or your obstacle or holding you back. Okay, the manifest and the resolution, and the manifest is, I'm going to say it like this. The manifest part has to do with it is not creating what you intended or what you wanted. Now, it's kind of funny when I'm looking at this because what I'm thinking about is how sometimes we'll enter into a relationship. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a romantic relationship. And on the outside or at the very beginning, and I always call that the honeymoon stage, and in the honeymoon stage, everything is awesome. I mean, this person is great. Everything that they do is great. You feel positive. You feel uplifted. And then after that honeymoon is over, this could be a job too. After that honeymoon is over, you start seeing some of the intrinsic behaviors, characteristics, thoughts, beliefs, whatever, from that person, that place, or that thing. You know, because it could be, we could also be looking at this in our work as well. And so when I'm looking at this manifest card and coming up with the break free, what I see is what your intentions were with that, whether it's a relationship or workplace, whatever. Your intentions were good and authentic and a total reflection of who you are and where you were wanting to go with that. And that was what you were spending your energy on creating. But what happened is not what you intended. That's where that manifest is there in that obstacle area. And it's talking about what you intended isn't what's happening. Where you started isn't where you're going. Yeah, you're off track, you're off base. It's not good for you. It's not bringing you the joy that you want. And how do I know that? Because I look at the very last card on this row, and let's flip that over, and we have resolution upside down. So that's where I'm looking at this, and I'm getting the break free manifest with that, is that it's time for you to walk away from what is not allowing you to be your true authentic self. Because where you're going and what you're doing right now is not going to be giving you the authenticity that you want to look at, that you want to experience. In fact, if anything, it is blocking you from being your best self. All right, so interesting note on that, because it's like not all the time do we, especially people that are healers or of that nature, we tend to see this little part in a person that is so awesome, that intrinsic awesomeness. And then often when they're in a Mel of a Hess and they're bringing that Mel of a Hess into our life or our area, that what happens is that we become a part of that vibration or that energy, and it is what is like it, what do I want to say is just like pouring out of our body, our mind, our spirit, that lower vibration, but we see this wonderful aspect of that person. Well, if they're not wanting to embrace that wonderful aspect, or that career, that job place isn't wanting to connect in with that super duper awesome energy and positivity and growth and movement, it's just not gonna happen. And you're spinning your wheels. And that first row is talking about you spinning your wheels. Now, I feel like I'm at my mother's house getting a gripe out because we've got compassion, worth, upside down, and pay attention. So I'm going to say it to you like this. You have permission to be a bitch. Hey, Jack, how are you? I miss you. I was thinking about you earlier this week. All right, but so when I'm looking at these cards right now are giving you the permission to be a bitch. And people are probably going, I can't believe that Mara said that it's okay for us to be mean, rude, and whatever. And at here, when I'm seeing compassion and worth upside down and then pay attention straight up, is that the people that you're dealing with right now have no sense of common common courtesy or common sense. They have no sense of common courtesy or common sense. They're just going through motions. And what I'm picking up on here is that sometimes people work, whatever, do things for instant gratification. And their whole scenario with you right now is about instant gratification. You're a means to make things roll or happen, and utilizing that energy through there. The pay attention is your red flag. Your pay attention card here on the end is the red flag. I want to go touch base back about what I just said about being a bitch. It's okay to be a bitch this weekend. And it has to do with that sometimes people don't understand politeness. Sometimes people don't understand kindness. Sometimes people don't understand that you want to be gentle and telling them, hey, this isn't working out. Sometimes there are people that are going to be required or that require a sense of bluntness, firmness, and probably being really blunt with them. So that is why I am looking at these cards. When I'm looking at them, I'm like, you need to be a bitch. It's about holding yourself accountability for your own happiness and for your own well-being, because the people that you're involved with, the workplace that you're involved with where you're feeling the discontent, they don't have any consideration to your vibration or your energy. And so the universe, through in many ways, in many essence here, is telling you it is okay to cut that tie, cut that string, get them off of your ding-dang coattails and allow themselves to grow as people. Because you're not helping them grow and they are not helping you grow. Hey, Angela, how are you? So I like this next set of cards because I know that last row was like, I have to be rude. It's not about being rude, but sometimes you got to be really firm because they're not getting it when you're being kind and loving. So maybe doing a pivot, or turning that a 180 and being really firm and blunt with it is what is needed, because they're not getting your kindness. They don't understand it. Now, this is for my folks that feel a lot of guilt when they have to be firm. Because we kind of have it ingrained in our head that we're supposed to be kind, loving, gentle people all the time. And sometimes that is just totally impossible. And the reason for the impossibility has to do with people aren't always on the same page or the same vibration as you are, and they don't get what you're saying or what you're feeling or what you want to change or want to happen. And this is a little bit of love yourself, that patience. Okay, you're learning how to walk. We've been crawling for a while, and now we're learning how to walk. And what I mean by learning how to walk is we're learning how to hold our head up high and our shoulders back and show some strength and confidence in where we're going and what we're doing. People didn't anticipate that you would do that. They've anticipated that you would continue to be the carpet that they're going to walk all over. And that's not happening anymore, especially with this Hunter's full moon. And one of the things that I wanted to, kind of stress on people, this full moon is all about bringing our shadows to the light. So those things that have been holding us back are now going to be really illuminated. Some of you will continue to ignore them and be in denial, but many of you are going to embrace that energy to where you can finally decide where you want to go and what you want to do with that. and how you want to implement change. But be patient with yourself. You're going to, yeah, you're learning how to walk, but you're going to stumble and fall. And when you stumble and fall, you've got to get right back up and carry on and move forward. That lighten up is talking about don't be spanking yourself. It means that negative talk that some of us have in our head when we do something that isn't the height of brilliance, and we sit back and we're like, God, what a dumbass I am, or that was so stupid of me, or I'm so dumb. There's so many different ways that we dog ourselves. And in this lighten up, it's saying you're going to stumble and fall. It's like learning how to ride a bike when you're 4 years old. You may not have all of the balance that you need to hold that ding dang bike up, and you're going to stumble and fall. You're going to have some road rash on your knee or on your elbow, metaphorically speaking. And that's what these cards right here are talking about. They're talking about be patient and love yourself. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to fall down. And you're going to probably be thinking, oh, should I have quit that job? Should I have broke up with that person? Should I have told my friend that I thought was my friend that really isn't my friend? Should I have not blocked him and got rid of him, or whatever on your social media? No. There's a reason why you were told, or there's a reason why you were shown. There's a reason why you feel these things that are out of whack. And it's saying put your life back into balance, and it's okay to cut those strings, because in the end result there, oh yeah, we can be totally too kind to our own detriment, and it's like or they don't take us seriously. And then when poo hits the fan, they're like, where did that come from? Well, boo, I've been telling you for 6 months, we have a problem. So this is a great time to let those problems go. Because what happens in all of this? You freaking get into an alignment. You start connecting in with your purpose, where you want to be, what you want to do. You start feeling a sense of reciprocity that, or in synergy, that what you are giving comes back to you in this tenfold, and that your relationships have a lot of synergy and energy going with them. So I really like that. I like this row here. To me, it tells us that we have a lot of really good things coming up when we start to really pay attention and disconnect from what is holding us back. Okay, so here's the deal. You remember all those situations that I'm talking about? Hey, this is a great weekend to take care of business, or allow business to take care of itself. Okay, well, what happens through this is that we don't always feel good about following through with a total disconnect. We're human. We're going to have just this little bit of guilt and of like, did I do the right thing? Maybe I should call them and make sure they're okay. No, don't call them and make sure they're okay. Don't. All right, they're going to be just fine. That presence and surrender is about you trying to reconnect in, and you're like, but I'm not trying to reconnect in. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. If you broke up with somebody, you broke up with a friend, you broke up with a lover, you quit a job or whatever, you can't go back and call in a couple of days and go, hey, are you okay? Is everything doing all right? Doesn't make a difference. And you guys are like, Maris, that's so mean and rude. And I'm like, it's not mean or rude. You have to give both of you this sense of privacy and distance for both sides of the story to be able to take a deep breath, process it, and look at it from a different perspective. And if you try to re-engage into this scenario, then what happens is they're going to reconnect their energetic, vampiric little tentacles onto your soul, spirit, body, mind, whatever, and they're going to suck you alive. Okay, they're going to suck the life out of you, and you're going to be right back in. You will be right back in the position that you were just trying to get out of. Okay. Our final card in here is check-in. And let's talk about check-in. Check-in is more about connecting in with who you might think of as like your mentor or your safe place, your stability, and just review with that. Check in with the people who love you and bounce those ideas, bounce those thoughts off of them, and ask yourself if, how you feel about it. How do you really feel about it? Most of the time when people have been in relationships or a workplace for a long time, it's really hard to walk away from that. It's really hard to walk away and stand your ground on many things. And when you are in a place that you have to make a harsh decision on and either move forward, move out, whatever on that, it's human to feel a little guilt. It is human to feel almost a little bit of shame with it, like I've never treated somebody, I've never like turned my back on somebody, I've never broken up with somebody. And I'm like, sometimes that is a great way for you to be your more authentic self. Now, some of you are over here going, there's just a couple of things I don't like about that person. It's not like I want to break up. Well, if that person or that situation has been placing you in a stronghold where you're not feeling groovy and you're not feeling safe and you're not feeling 100% authentic with what you're doing, there is something that needs to change within that. It may not always be about walking away and walking away and totally disconnecting from them. Maybe it is something about changing a perspective and looking at things from a different perspective, because often we wear blinders. Yeah, I'm going to say that we wear blinders, or those little sunglasses that like totally block out the light, and we're not seeing what's actually there in front of us. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes we wear blinders and we don't want to admit that there are problems or there are issues that are not beneficial to our own authenticity and our own vibration. Sometimes, and I'm going to say this sometimes the greatest gift of love is telling somebody no. Yeah. So simple, right? Yeah, no, not really. Well, don't forget that this weekend I have online readings, or actually if you want to do one in person, we can do one in person. I'm here in the city on Saturday afternoon. If somebody wants to do a reading on Saturday afternoon here in the office. I am using my two new decks. I really love that deck. This Mind Info, the same one we used today. And then if you wanted to focus on something with your career or work, money, something along that lines, I have another deck that I'm offering. I just love these decks. I want to practice with them. Just to kind of get to really, really, really know them very well, but they're really easy. They talk a lot. So I'm doing either online, in person. If you are in Anadarko or the Anadarko area, I will be there Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, available for readings, and they are $30 or $35 for a 30-minute, or $50 for an hour. The 30-minute session, I really only have time for one deck, but I can use both decks on an hour. So reach out to me. You feel free to text 405-549-3766. Let me know you want a reading, if you want to do it in person, or online, and I will send you the rest of the information. Texting is always really easy to get a hold of me because if I'm with patients, I may not have a whole lot of time in between patients to make phone calls, but I can always get some text messages in. So, well, Lynn, think about this. Go back and review the reading and sit there and say, how does this reading apply to me? How does this reading apply to me? And take it from there. So I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Peace, love, and harmony. I will be back in just a little bit because I got a whole bunch of cool things working that I want to talk about. And I miss you guys. And I really like making videos. And I've got a brand new phone, so I think it makes a pretty good video. I do need to do a detox. So you can see I've got some puffiness through here. So that is my sign that it's time for an ionic foot detox. Peace. Finish.